since I was a child, I've always been very passionate about animals and what happens to them. I've always grown up learning that animals have feelings and that they deserve love and care too. But when I was around 12, I became exposed to animal cruelty. Someone I knew had a Pomeranian, pretty small dog, about up to here. He was very attention craving, and he used to bother us and bark a lot. And I thought it was pretty cute, but my friend did not. One day I heard from a family friend that the owner of the dog had thrown the dog out the car window while driving. And obviously we never saw the dog again. There are many animals being run over and left on the side of the road or the sidewalk for days and weeks, being disregarded, sitting in cages, owning their own urine, or getting mange and losing all of their fur. Being burned, poked, and prodded for the sake of research. Well, my research wants to make sure that these things never happen to animals. My experiences with animals, ownership of my own animals, animal management classes, and aquatic science classes, and of course, research, compel me to share with you today that animals deserve to be heard and treated with a level of respect and mercy. Today I will share with you what animal welfare is, why it's important, and what we can do to further prevent their abuse and demise. First, animal welfare is not animal rights. Animal rights activists tend to be extreme. They don't want animals to be pets, clothing, food, any of that. Experimentation. Animal welfare simply means that when we do these things, when we use them for food or when we use them for clothing, there's no need to be harmful and cruel and torturous. Now, why should we care that animals feel pain or that they suffer? Well, you wouldn't like it if it happened to you, would it? Or if you're religious, you could argue that in Proverbs 27, verse 23, God says, know well the condition of your flocks and give attention to your herds. Or Ecclesiastes 3, verse 18 and 19. As for humans, God tests them so that they may know that they are like the animals. Surely the fate of human beings is like that of animals, and the same fate awaits them both. As one dies, so does the other. All have the same breath. Humans have no advantage over animals. Everything is meaningless. Now this means that we are equal of sorts, and although we are supposed to be here to look after them, that does not mean we have to be cruel to them. So why is this important? Animals are important to our livelihood. We wear them as clothes. We eat them, obviously. Farmers, that's their entire job. They're very important to our economy, and you can be arrested for breaking laws such as the Animal Welfare Act and various other laws against animal cruelty. Did you know that when Trump became president, we lost thousands of documents containing valuable information about animal abuse and animal cruelty? And 95% of the animals used in animal experimentation aren't even protected under the Animal Welfare Act, meaning they could be brain damage, burns, poked, prodded, taking their eyeballs out, and nobody bats an eye. And animal experimentation is like usually argued that, you know, it's to ensure our safety. For girls who like to wear makeup, they use it for makeup. They test it on rabbits and rats and things to make sure that it's okay. But the immune system and the skin of a rabbit compared to a human being is not always going to be accurate. Sometimes drug tests that pass on animals will not pass on humans, or vice versa. So there's no really sure way to tell that these tests are reliable. And in slaughterhouses, animals such as cows are abused in various ways. There are ways that are supposed to be meant to prevent them, like a stun gun. The stun gun is to be put in their head so that they are knocked unconscious, so that they don't feel the pain and they die quicker, and they don't feel anything. Mm-hmm. But there are some employees or poor equipment that that being done wrong, and the animals are still conscious and even make noises as their throats are slit and they are hung by their rare hooves over a pool of blood to bleed out for 7 minutes, some of them still being conscious. While this is being monitored, they don't stop the line just because an animal is moaning and groaning as it bleeds to death. They dismember their hooves and then they skin them, even if they're alive. Yes, they are our food. Yes, we do eat them. I'm not a vegetarian. I love hamburgers. But do we have to be cruel? If you see an animal in pain, why don't you stop it? If you see an animal on the side of the road that's anorexic and sitting up here meowing at you, don't kick it. Either leave it alone or help it. Why do we have to be cruel to animals? What did they do to deserve that? Would you do that to a human being? Would you do that to a human child? No. Animals have feelings too. In SeaWorld, there are dolphins that are taken from places like Japan, and they are taken on a helicopter over to America. Dolphins weren't meant to fly in helicopters. They didn't ask to be put here. They're whipped and beaten and verbally abused to train to smile and laugh and play with a ball. That's not what God put dolphins here to do. There have been cases where dolphins have the choice to breathe, and if they don't want to, they will kill themselves. Dolphins have had children in captivity and not brought their children up to the water, to the air, because they didn't want their children living in captivity. They killed their kids. They have just as much as emotions as we do. There's no such difference as human emotions and animal emotions. Every creature that is living, except for plants, have emotions. Painkillers aren't required in animal testing, so they feel many of these things. And I know this makes y'all uncomfortable. This makes me uncomfortable. Why is it okay to do it to a rabbit or a rat, but not to do it to a human? Humans have feelings, animals have feelings. Did the animal ask for its eyes to be taken out just so that you could wear your pretty mascara? No. They was just hopping around doing whatevers. Why was that there? Why did you need to do that? And the least we could do is give them a way to not feel the pain, to not know what's going on. There's no reason you should be to be conscious and aware that your eyeballs are being taken out. And I did not put that there on purpose because I didn't want y'all to see that. So changes to be made. I think there should be bi-monthly checkups in places like zoos, SeaWorld, animal testing and research facilities to make sure that these places have updated equipment and properly trained employees so that things like this do not happen. I want painkillers to be required for these animals. The Animal Welfare Act should be updated. It says that zoo animals and circus animals are protected, although farm animals are not. Why? Farm animals are the things that we eat. Why are they any lesser than everything else? Why is a rabbit less valuable than an elephant? And this matters to me because I want to become a zoologist. I want to study animals. I want to see how we interact with their environment and how they interact with ours. I want to get to know them and get to help them. And over the course of these 4 years, I've learned that, and I've learned who my real friends are. Like Tamia and Blessing and my grandma's. I've learned to be comfortable with who I am. And I've learned that even if you don't care about animals, I do. And they deserve to be heard too. Just because they don't talk doesn't mean they don't feel. Thank you.